now let's talk about Python path. So we have, we have checked the box to add Python to the path. So what is Python path? So Python path is basically environment variable which you can set to let your system know that where to find the Python and its dependencies, dependent modules or packages, right? So let's see if Python path has added correctly or not. For that we need to go to start and type environment variables. You'll get this kind of panel here, and go to environment variables in the bottom. Now you'll see one variable called path. If you simply double click on it, you'll see a lot of path which are getting added by various softwares, and also there is Python 3.10 path, right? So it got added correctly. Now whenever we type Python in command prompt, it will actually go to this particular path and then start Python. So you could consider like Python 3.10 is resides under this path which is highlighted currently. Now we don't have to change anything, simply click OK and close this. Okay. Now there is another way to open up a Python, which is if you simply go to the start and type Python, it will give you this kind of console where you can write Python commands directly. So for example, if I if I want to print hello world, then this is the syntax, print hello world. It will print hello world. But the same thing if you want to do from normal command prompt, then you have to first go inside the Python terminal, right? And how to do that? It's simply type Python and hit enter. Now you'll see these three arrows. That means you are inside the Python terminal. When you enter into Python terminal, you'll see there are some help command which console has already provided us. Let's try to explore what the help command is. So I'll type help here, and now if you see, the command prompt has changed to help, and it will basically whatever we type, whatever function name or whatever we type, we can see the information. For example, if I write exit, so we'll see that exit is a method which is basically a quitter class and its related attributes. Okay, so now if I simply type exit here, now it got me outside the Python interpreter, right? Let's try to explore what is copyright. The copyright basically gives you all the information about who is holding copyrights and what was the time duration. So this is pretty interesting information, right? So if you see 2001 to 22, now let's try to explore what's in the credits. So credits thanks to CWI, CNRI, beopen.com. So all these are short forms of some kind of institute, I think, right? CWI, CNRI. So to get the more detail of it, what I'll do is I'll try to type license. Oh, license, I think 2 brackets are required. Enter. Now you'll see the history of the software. How cool is that? So when and how Python was created, I think it's early 1990s by Cordo van Rossum in stitching mathematics centrum. That is the CWI. Now we'll see the actual website of cwi.nl. It founded in Netherlands, and its successor of language called ABC. So all this information, interesting historical information, you'll find here. And you see, if you see the last line, to quit, how to quit that? So we have to type Q and return. Return means enter. So we have to type Q and enter to quit. Let's quit this. Perfect. Now we are back to our Python interpreter. Now let's exit this interpreter as well. Okay, and clear screen. Okay, now we are back to our command prompt. So the whole environment we have seen right now is we could call it has multiple terms, right? We can call it Python interpreter, we can call it Python terminal, or also it is known as REPL, Python REPL. The full form of REPL is read, execute, print and loop. Okay, so what is read, execute, print and loop? So basically, if we see the definition of program, it's a set of statements which is given to computer, and those statements will processed by computer one by one automatically in a loop. Okay, but here what we are doing is we are typing one statement and we are getting the result, right? So that's what we did, right? We have entered a command called credits, and we have hit enter, and it gave all the it gave the result, it printed the result, right? Again we have given command as show us the license command, and again it has printed the, so it is not taking the set of commands. So instead of that, it is taking one command at a time, and we can see the result then and there itself. So that is known as REPL environment, or read, execute, print and loop, right? So it is going into loop, right? So we are giving one command, we are getting output, again we are giving command, again we are, so it's happening into the loop. So that's why this environment is called REPL environment. Also it can be known as Python shell, right? So in the Python shell, apart from the commands which we have seen, right, help, copyright and credits, apart from those commands, Python by default provide some of the basic commands. Like if we want to print some message, we can simply use this command. We have to write print, 2 round brackets, and inside the quotes we have to print the message. So we can start with typical hello world program. See, now the computer has printed hello world on the console. It is one type of command. You can write any messages here and it will print. Okay, so this is normal printing. Apart from normal printing, we can do some kind of mathematical calculations as well. So for example, if I do 3 plus 4, see, I got the result. This is addition operator. Just like the addition operator, we can get subtraction operator as well, and then multiplication and the division. Okay, but now in division operator you will observe something different. It will it's giving the precision as well. It's not giving simply 1, it is giving 1.0, right? So these are known as floating point numbers. So these are whole integers, we call it as integers, and the numbers having some kind of precisions are known as floating point numbers. Okay, it's because it can have floating point numbers as well. If you see this, okay, and then how do you check the type of particular entity which you have typed? So again you have to print. Now you have to give type of any integer which we have given, let's say 4. See, the type is integer, that means it's a whole number. Now if I do 4.0, it's giving me float, which is nothing but numbers with precision. Okay, now I'll try to give the first message which we have typed. See, the collection of letters or alphabets or alphanumerics are called as strings. Strings are nothing but set of characters or numbers. Okay, so if I do set of numbers, only numbers, it will give me string. Why string? Because we have typed it inside the quotes. Okay, that means it can have alphabets as well. It is nothing but a simple string. Now if I do 1 2 3 4 5 outside the quotes, just like we have done here, right, 4 minus 3 without any quotes, so that will be integer. Okay, and without quotes, if I add anything, the alphabets, it will show me error, invalid decimal literal. Okay, so these are some of the operation which Python by default handles, which is addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Okay, and it has several data types. So for example, for the whole numbers, the data type is string. For the fractional numbers, data type is float. And for the string is the set of characters which we write inside the quotes. Okay, so these data type is string. Okay, now let's try to explore what we can do with strings. Okay, so if I add a plus b, okay, addition operator, but now we are operating on string data types. Okay, perfect. We are giving the concatenation, right? Concatenation of two letters, a plus b. What if we do a minus b? Any guesses? It will give the error. Okay, because minus operator does not this minus operator does not operates on string characters. It will only operates on numeric characters like 5 minus 3. Okay, even if you do in quotes 5 minus 3, it will not work because the data types are string and string. Why string? Because we have enclosed it in a quotes. Okay, now what do you think, what this will into 5, what this will return? So this will return this alphabet or any string 5 number of times. Okay, so here is the result. So till now we have seen the addition operator works with string and the multiplication operator works with string. When we do addition, it will simply concatenates or joins the two strings, and if we do multiplication, it will simply repeat that string a specific number of times. Okay, so if I do ABC into 10 times, it will simply multiply, it will simply print ABC 10 times. This is the string, and this is only one string. Okay, because it is included in the quotes. One more point to note, that strings can be inside the double quotes or single quote, it doesn't matter, it's still a string. Okay, so we can use double quotes or single quotes here. Okay, now let's see what we get if we use divided by 2 string with division operator. Okay, it will give error because division operator also does not supports string data type, string and int. Okay, so these are some of the mathematical operators I just wanted to show you on a high level. Okay, we'll see it in more detail when we move to scripting part.